Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NFL picks for Sunday. Two more games today after a couple of crazy ones yesterday with both number one seeds going down. But it was still a profitable day. Went crazy on NBA with 340.75. Had basically the nuts minus Biombo. But that took down a lot of the contests there. And Draftkings Saturday only also cash. So good day for DK. Fanduel fell short. See if we can get both into the money today. Let's get into it. I'll give you guys my core picks for this two-game slate. As always, if you want to join us, you can visit the website. Link is in the description. Check out Twitter for updates. Check out Prize Picks. Use my code to get some free money. And hit the like button and subscribe before we get started. So quarterbacks, you have two of the best ones to target here. Maybe three if you throw in Tom Brady on the season. But Josh Allen has been great for DFS all year. Same thing with Pat Mahomes. But there's only a $300 difference between Allen and Mahomes, to where I feel pretty solid about Josh Allen. I actually think the Bills will win the game. Allen gives you a ton of rushing touchdown upside. Mahomes can use his legs a bit, and we've seen it. He has over 25 yards in 3 straight games. Most of the time, he can get you 3 to 6 fantasy points with his legs. But I'm going Josh Allen against this Kansas City defense. I would go Allen, Mahomes, and then I might look to Stafford and then Brady. I actually think the Rams might win today as well. Running backs, all of these guys are cheap, so you just play whoever you want. But Singletary has been the guy who's been getting all the work recently for the Bills. Ever since after the halfway point of the season, he's kind of taken over. Probably the 3/4 point of the season, he's taken over as the lead back, getting almost all the carries. Still getting you a handful of targets and receptions out of the backfield, but going up against KC, they're going to utilize Singletary on the ground, and I would expect him to catch a couple balls as well. Leonard Fournette is back. I expect him to still be pretty heavily involved. He's missed a handful of games. He hasn't played since week 15. But they got some good things out of Bernard last week. But I don't expect those Vaughn and Bernard, to be much more than third down backs at times and spell Fournette. But I would still expect Fournette to get probably 60 to 70% of the work. And then I love Cam Akers starting to increase his workload. He went from 8 touches to 18 touches last week. Played fairly well. He didn't have much success in terms of fantasy. Only averaged 3.2 yards per rush, but he's starting to get his legs back. Definitely like going to Cam Akers. Wide receivers, you have Cooper Kupp is in a spot of his own at 86. He's a good play, but you can get to Diggs, Tyreek Hill, $2,000 cheaper. I think that's a kind of a route that I like, going with Tyreek Hill and Stephon Diggs. I'd probably pass on. I like Hill and Diggs more than Mike Evans, just because Mike Evans will probably draw Jalen Ramsey. The Bucs don't have very many pass-catching options anymore, so Evans will still get his targets, but I just want to stack up this Buffalo-KC game. I think I'll have a couple of pieces from the first game, but really that second game looks to be a fantasy goldmine with all the price tags on DraftKings. Like in the 4K range, you have Gabe Davis, who's on the field for 50 to 70% of the snaps. You have Pringle, who's emerging as the second best wide receiver for Patrick Mahomes. He's been getting red zone opportunities as well. He's up to 7 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns last week against Pittsburgh. You have Sanders, gives you big play upside. You even have Mecole Hardman in sub $3,000. You have Ty from the Bucs side, if they don't have Grayson again today. Tyler Johnson without Perriman should be on the field for all of the snaps, at least 90+%. And then even for your tournaments, you can take shots on McKenzie and Scotty Miller. McKenzie caught a couple passes last week. But Hill and Diggs are just too cheap. I'm going to plug those guys in. At tight end, I like Dawson Knox at $4,900. I like Gronk, who, if you expect Jalen Ramsey to be locked in on Mike Evans, you expect Gronk to probably be the preferred target for Tom Brady. Then you can even get up to Kelsey. I have no problem with any of these top 3 guys. I think Higbee would be my least favorite, but he's still playable at that price tag. And defense-wise, look to probably the Rams or the Bucs defense. If you're not worried, all these defenses are within $500 of each other. They're within a couple $100. So it's basically whoever fits. Not going to go out of my way. I think all of these defenses will be around the same unless one of them happens to score a touchdown, because you're going up against 4 really good quarterbacks. So maybe you can look to the Bills if you want to go all the way down for a punt, but I'm probably looking at the Rams as a defense that they can get pressure to the quarterback. I know Brady doesn't get sacked much, but They will make life difficult for Brady. They do have the cornerbacks and the secondary to make life difficult, and they have the pass rush. Last guy I'm going to plug in here will be Leonard Fournette at 57. I think it's a spot on DraftKings where you can use your flex for a running back with Fournette, Singletary, and Akers all being below $6,000. I think they all look great. Opportunities for all of them to get 15 to 20 touches. And your wide receivers, Hill and Diggs, are the two best ones for me, just with their price tags being so affordable. And you can even squeeze in like a value pick here that looks good, like Pringle or Gabe Davis, Van Jefferson, Hardman. They all look pretty solid. So that's it for DraftKings. Just wanted to run down this 2-game slate. Let's go over to FanDuel. All right, for FanDuel, they have the quarterbacks priced up a little bit differently. You have Allen is most expensive, no surprise there. But then you have Mahomes. Just the gap is a little bit wider between like Allen and Brady on FanDuel, but I'm still going Josh Allen. He's like gives you so much upside with his legs. I expect him to look to his receivers, takes deep shots, and even if they're up by, even if they happen to get out to a lead, they're going to continue to throw. Running back, still like Singletary is going to be my favorite one to target. You have McKinnon as a guy that might get some ownership today, but I think Edwards-Helaire probably be a better tournament option. People a little bit afraid to play him, and I think everybody will look to McKinnon after his week last week. But if Edwards-Helaire is healthy, which they said he's not going to be on a snap count, he's probably going to get most of the rushes, and then McKinnon will get you some third down work. But Singletary and Akers are my two favorite ones on FanDuel, just with their price tags, Akers being really affordable. Wide receiver, probably will fade Cooper Kupp on both sides, with there just being a big gap between Kupp and the rest of the options here. Like, I like Diggs, I like Hill as my two wide receivers to build around on both sides. Diggs only got a couple of catches last week. The rest of the wide receivers went off. But, this week, things could be different going up against KC. He did have a decent game against them, I think, early on in the season. But that was so long ago where he only had 2 catches for 70 yards. But did get some deep targets there. Just a completely different offense for both teams now, with Diggs being on the field for basically every snap, as you would expect in a divisional game. If you wanted to go to a cheaper wide receiver, Pringle looks great at 57. I like Gabe Davis at 53. I like Gabe Davis Sanders a little bit more than Beasley. Beasley wasn't playing much last week, and then Hardman also at 53 makes some sense. Tight end wise, you have Travis Kelce all the way up to 82. I'll probably take some savings and go down to like Knox or Gronk. Even Higbee makes some sense there. But Dawson Knox has always been good to me. He's got another 2-touchdown game last week when nobody was really on him. I think he makes sense again this week, with there being so many other tight end options here where probably won't get too much ownership and continues to get a lot of targets inside the red zone. So doing a little bit of a Buffalo stack, Allen, Singletary, Diggs, Knox with Hill bringing it back, and Cam Akers in the early game. It's kind of the route that I like on FanDuel. And defense-wise, the Rams still look to be a really good defense. I mean, the Bills, you can play them, but you can only play 4 players on a team on FanDuel, and I don't know if I want to utilize my defense on the Bills, where it's going to take away one less guy that I can play on the offensive side. But that's it for the video. Just a quick rundown of this 2-game slate. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Best of luck today, and I'll see you all next time.